I installed the latest Ubuntu 20.04
Yeah.
in my in one of my actually not in my ThinkPad. No, in my 12-year-old Toshiba satellite that originally had Windows Vista. That sucker
Oh
still
boy.
works. Not
Oh
much
god.
longer, but I installed it as a dual boot, and there's two things that I noticed. Very
Yeah.
early test. It feels faster, even though it's an old machine. It feels a little bit smoother and faster. Not much, but I could sense it. I could feel it. So that's good. The second thing I noticed in the Ubuntu Software Center, or whatever they call it now, they defaulted to snap packages only. Or I take it back. I think on the upper right, I think you can choose if it's a snap or not, or the snap version. Okay, there's like a little drop down menu where you can choose it. So they're defaulting to snaps. I personally don't have an issue with snaps as long as they work. I have noticed in Ubuntu Mate the snap version of OBS works better than the non-snap version for whatever reason. Maybe it's quality control. I don't know, but snaps versus non-snaps, evidently for Ubuntu Snap packages are the future. As long as they work and they're secure, I don't have a problem. Personally, I use what works. I don't have a favor whether it's only snaps or not snap packages. I install both and I use whatever works. But those are the two quick differences I did notice. It runs a little bit faster, not much, and default snap packages to install your software in Ubuntu 20.04. Ben, you said you installed it?
Yeah, on this laptop, but unfortunately it didn't stay long because there was uh, well, the first time I tried it, I forgot my password, uh, and then I tried to remember what the heck it was, and unfortunately, I kept forgetting it, so I finally settled on just using a simple four-digit password at the end of it. So I logged in fine after that, and then it was still kind of buggy. Still had a couple of issues getting packages installed, and then I finally tried to reboot after figuring things out. And it one of the things that bugged me was the fact that you had to type in a password when you rebooted. I've never seen this in any of the Linux distros that I've tried throughout my years of, throughout several years of running Linux, and I don't know why the heck they implemented this feature. And I'm going to make a personal request right here and now to tell Canonical, get rid of that feature. It's stupid. Please get rid of it. If I don't see that as a technically user-friendly thing, please, Canonical, for the love of God, get rid of that feature.
Here's
What?
here's my advice. Here's a new password. Your password should be I
No,
forgot
no,
my
no. It
password.
wasn't that, Carmine. It was the fact that they implemented a password to reboot the system. Like, why? Just it's
A
useless.
password to reboot the system.
Yeah, it complained that there was a lock with a
Ah,
program, and I'm like,
okay.
what? I didn't do that. I don't know if it was a bug or a new
I don't
feature or
recall that.
what.
I've rebooted. I mean, I have to
Right. Well, I don't know
password
where
to
that
log
came from.
on, but
Right. I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
if it was
I'll
just a
have to
bug
try
in the
it. I don't
ISO
recall seeing
or
that.
what, but
Okay.
yeah, I don't know if it was just a bug in the ISO or what it
Well,
could
it's still a
be. But
beta, right? So
right, it's still a beta. Maybe it'll go away. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But either
Okay.
way, you know,
Okay.
that was just my general review. Good beta so far. No
Yeah.
complaints at all, except for that one little thing where it
Did you
prompts you
try
to
it
reboot
again
without
just to
password.
see? Have you tried it
I'll
again?
I'll try it again on one of my other machines. I don't want to wipe away my precious Manjaro, but regardless, I will try it on
Manjaro.
your machine. Yeah, I'll try it on my Lemur or something and just see how it goes. I also have a
Okay.
Lenovo uh, Lenovo's R61
Okay.
whatever,
Okay. Okay.
or it's a G510. Excuse me, a Lenovo
Okay.
G510 that I'll try it on as well. See how well that goes,
Okay.
and just try it on different machines, see what
Okay.
experience I get, etc.
All right. Just to be clear, those of you who watch this later, it is still a beta. There are going to be bugs. I believe feature freeze is in effect. There'll be no extra features thrown in, at least not that I'm aware of. But they're still testing. I believe it's going to be released around the third week of April. if I am
Yeah.
not mistaken. So if you are a newbie to all this, I haven't noticed any issues. However, it is a beta, so I suggest you do not install this as a dual boot with Windows. No dual boot at all.
Oh,
If you have a separate machine like a ThinkPad, that's the way to
yeah.
go.
Or
Or
try
just
it in a
wait.
VM. Try it somewhere where you
Or
don't.
run it off a USB stick just to get the feel
Run it
of
off
it.
the thumb
Yeah.
drive. And
Right.
if I may make a suggestion, if your USB boot medium of choice opts you, make a persistence file if you so desire to keep your changes if you want to. You don't have to. It's just a suggestion from somebody who's done this for many years.
Yeah,
but now a newbie just went.
Yeah, either that or just wait till it comes out.
Or wait till it comes out. Right. If you don't have a spare machine and you want to do a dual boot, I would wait.
I would wait till the new LTS comes out.
Nowadays, with refurbished machines dropping in price, very affordable. I saw a ThinkPad, a nice looking ThinkPad with 8 gigs of RAM with an SSD for less than $200 or $200.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong, you know.
I mean, and SSDs are fairly cheap, fairly easy to install. So
I've done a tutorial on that. You can pick up an SSD for little as $22, $25 to install
just
Linux.
go on Amazon or go to your
It's
local
not that
computer
hard
shop.
to install. I did a tutorial how to install it on the ThinkPad laptop. All right, Steve, what say you about the latest Ubuntu?
I'm hearing good things. I was like watching Alan. He
Alan
did
Pope?
a couple of videos
Yep.
on installing it, and he had a lot of of course he's a canonical guy, but everybody's talking about it being real snappy, and with him no pun intended, right?
Because he's a snap package guy. Yeah.
he installed or he ran Ubuntu Studio off a live USB, and he had all this stuff going, and he just and it was he's like, all this stuff's working and it's just on a USB, and he goes, it just still amazes him. He gets like giddy like a school kid.
It's
gonna be interesting.
Like I said, I think Ubuntu hit its stride in terms of a standard quality OS really since 2016, even though back then it was still officially Unity, but they opted for GNOME. But I think they hit their, at least in my multiple tests, they hit their stride, and each release gets a little better and better.
Now, I don't know if they'll have the full new GNOME release when it does come out, but I'm not a big GNOME user.
Yeah,
it's okay. There's certain things I like. There's certain things I don't like, but I'm hearing it's using less memories, that they've kind of plugged up the memory leaks, that it's quicker. They now support the tweak. You don't have to go out and install tweaks. I think it's part of the package, and the way a couple of things that they're doing with dash to dock and all that. So
yeah. I think Ben's mom approves of GNOME, so I just heard her. No big deal. No, I actually installed tweaks, and the thing with Ubuntu's GNOME desktop environment or anything based on GNOME, if you don't install the tweak tool to make it your own, it's kind of pointless in my opinion, just especially for a newbie, But I installed the tweak tool. I did a couple tweaks, not much here and there, but Steve, you're right. The GNOME, the GNOME or GNOME desktop is not for everybody. Mate is still my favorite, but it does look sharp. It looks polished. It looks and feels polished, and I have to give the Ubuntu team and Alan Pope, credit. All those who are responsible for it. It is a Linux quality standard, a worldwide Linux quality standard. Just like I believe Ubuntu Mate is a worldwide Linux. It's no secret that a lot of these top Linux-based systems are Ubuntu-based. And they've been around. Ubuntu, run by Canonical, since 2004. And we'll talk about that next week in the next Linux 18. But it's no secret that in terms of quality, they have it, and they are proving it. So I salute the Ubuntu team.